Welcome to Review-O-Meter! I am your host, Peter. How are we doing, all you hot doggers out there? So today we have Cesar.
Hello.
We have Kevin.
What up, guys?
We have Sydney. We have Shang.
Hey, how's it going?
And introducing Hiroki, who we mentioned last week. This is where you say hello.
I wanted to wait as long as I could.
That was the perfect intro.
He's just trying to sabotage this.
I'm only gonna speak whenever Peter's speaking.
You're trying to get under my skin, aren't you?
I just the entire time just trying to speak over Peter.
I really love this show so far.
So today we are continuing with our Netflix guest choice theme. We're on episode 3 out of 4, and today we are going to randomize each of our names, and whoever it lands on gets to pick whatever title on Netflix. Are you all excited? I'm kind of excited. Are you looking excited? I think I'm excited.
You sound very excited.
Yeah.
Like you literally went from a 1 to a 10, in 5 seconds.
So on that note, I say it's time we activate the Review-O-Meter Shuffler. And it broke again. Who could have thought? Cesar, the mechanic. I need you, Cesar. Cesar.
Oh,
Cesar.
all right. I got it this time. I got it.
Hey, there we go. And the winner is Sydney.
Hey!
Bless.
Finally! Oh my
my
god!
goodness!
He has been waiting for this moment ever
I
since.
really
he
have.
Oh.
I really have. I literally saved a movie just for this moment, actually.
Did
All
you
right, I'm excited. Sydney,
Jujitsu.
what? It's not gonna
Wow,
be
I'm
jujitsu.
legit excited.
No, that's not allowed. But Sydney, what are we going to be watching today?
We are going to be watching a movie called Extraction.
Extraction.
Interesting.
Yes.
What is this movie about?
It is. I'm actually just going to read the description because I'm just staring at it. So
Yeah.
It is about a hardened mercenary's mission becomes a soul-searching race to survive when he's sent into Bangladesh to rescue a drug lord's kidnapped son.
Yo, this is
And
gonna
it
be.
has Thor in it, so I'm excited about that.
Oh my goodness!
Chris Hemsworth himself. That has to be
Yeah.
good.
Wow,
Yes,
Loki's
yes.
brother. Well, not really.
Absolutely.
And it has David Harbour.
Yeah, but Thor's in it.
Thor, but Thor though. That's why we're here. Thor, that's why we're here.
Also, it was written by
Wow.
Joe Russo,
Yes.
Oh.
one of the Russo brothers, of course, who are behind the Avengers and Captain America films.
Oh.
I've never seen it. I'm just looking at it now. It is another mature film, everybody. It is rated R for strong, bloody violence throughout, language, and brief drug use.
No, only brief. It's not
Only
extended.
brief.
work.
It's like a quick minute. Yeah.
You only have to kind of go to rehab.
I believe Superbad said brief nudity, which, I mean,
Yeah.
sure, it was brief,
yeah,
but
It was. Brief,
it was
yeah.
there.
Wait, what? I don't remember that from
It
Superbad.
was brief.
Oh, yeah, I guess it had to been super brief, but I remember.
Yeah, you probably didn't notice it, but it was brief.
It was very
Oh,
brief.
okay. I got you.
Okay, guys, this is an hour and 57 minutes. So, again, hopefully we don't take forever discussing it.
Let's just, so that way Peter has to edit even more. Let's just stay on here recording the entire time.
God.
Oh my god.
So, Sydney, why this movie?
I'm gonna be 100% honest with you. I picked it simply because Chris Hemsworth is in it.
Wow.
I was
Just like a thought.
scrolling
with
through. I was scrolling through Netflix over quarantine. It came out last year. I saw he was in it, and I just never got around to it. So when you said it was guest choice, I was like, I'll pick this movie. So here we are.
The third film in a row that someone picked without ever seeing.
Oh, so Sydney, let me get this straight. So you suffer from Nicolas Cage syndrome. You wanted to watch this movie because of the star. I believe Jacob wanted to watch Jiu-Jitsu because of Nicolas Cage and because he looks like
Well,
him. So
Well, actually, I think Sydney also kind of looks like Chris Hemsworth in a bit.
Wow. Wow.
Have you seen them together in the same room? I have not.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I see
so
the similarity, especially like the nose. I see it. My goodness,
Honestly, yeah, Sydney looks exactly like Thor.
it really does. All he needs is like sunglasses. Yeah.
When I first saw the Thor movie, I was like, "Is that Sydney?"
I was like,
Oh.
wait, hey, Sid?
Yeah, if you put Chris Hemsworth and Sydney side by side, if that was even possible to hear from Spotify, if we could actually see with our ears, the audience would never ever pick up the difference.
It's like they're twins.
like our friend Nicolas Cage.
Exactly.
They're the same picture.
So that's
Yeah.
basically the real theme of this month. Pick a movie that you just want to see based on an actor.
Exactly.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah,
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, yeah. Sounds right.
Kind of like it.
Yeah. It's not a bad theme.
All right, then. I guess it's time that we go watch Extraction, and we'll come back with our thoughts and reviews after these messages.
Do you possess a lot of money? Are people out to kill you and or your family? Worry no more because Tyler Rake is here to help. For a small fee, of course. Actually a big fee. A large amount. Basically, it's gonna be expensive. But there's no price on family. Tyler Rake has a strong record of protecting most of his clients. He will put his life on the line in order to complete his job. If your son is ever kidnapped, Tyler Rake can bring him back. If someone ever steals your family heirloom, Tyler Rake can return it to you. If your cat smells terribly and Tyler Rake can bathe your pet. What? Tyler Rake's Rich People Protection Program. No matter how hard the mission, Tyler Rake can and will succeed. Call now and receive a bonus autograph picture of Chris Hemsworth. What? That's 1-800-TYLER-RAKE. Yes, Tyler Rake is so good, he even knows Hollywood actor Chris Hemsworth. Again, 1-800-TYLER-RAKE. Call now.
Oh yes, this is Chris Hemsworth. I mean, Tyler Rake. I mean, you know who to call.
And we're back from watching Extraction on Netflix. Woo! Good choice, Sydney.
Thank you. Thank you,
What a
everyone.
movie. Yeah.
Glad you all liked it or
Yeah, it was a movie.
enjoyed it. Oh,
Really
okay.
violent. Yeah. Really violent. Yeah. A lot of pew pew. Yeah.
Oh, I'm a huge fan of the pew-pews.
You know what amazed me the most about just all the gun violence in this? That's a weird sentence to say, but just how natural every character is, especially Chris Hemsworth doing the headshot. They make it look so easy.
Really quickly to clarify, you said Chris Hemsworth went for headshots?
I hate you, Kevin. It was a good movie though. I did like all the action scenes. Myself, I do enjoy like watching movie scenes or fight scenes where they actually do like real life moves that are like very like realistic. I thought like all the fight scenes for the most part were very realistic. Nothing ever seemed really like super ridiculous. Like with like all the gun scenes and stuff. I always hate it like whenever they have movies and like, the good guys fighting all the bad guys and like all the bad guys literally just like run face first, like with it while they still have like a weapon or like a gun in hand, but they literally just run up to the person so that way they can just punch them.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I always think that's like really stupid and ridiculous, but for the most part, like everything seemed like fairly realistic. It felt, I guess, like more real and it felt more like fluid.
So it was nothing like jujitsu then.
Oh, I fucking hate jujitsu.
You actually had some fluid movement to it.
You can easily compare this to jujitsu. It's just this is better.
Fuck no, you can't compare it at all.
It's a little harder to compare it to Superbad.
While watching it with like comparing the fight scenes from jujitsu to this movie, like in jujitsu, they would do sometimes like the people who did the stunts, they did a good job. As far as I can tell, they're doing the stunts themselves and stuff, and like doing those flips and everything. It's hard. It's not an easy thing. It's hard. Yeah, with some of the moves that they would do, they would do something that's like actually realistic. I think like at the last fight scene in Jujutsu, when he's fighting like the alien named Brax or some shit. I thought it was fucking weird. I don't know why the fuck they gave the man a
I like
name.
how they gave him a first name and they called him by that first name.
Yeah, they gave him like they gave him like a human name, sort of. I guess you can call your dog that or something. But like when he's fighting Brax, like he gets an armbar on him and like he wraps his leg around. He could easily use that to like knock him down and like finish the armbar. But he just does that and then he's like, all right, and he lets go and, and then the alien just starts punching him. He didn't do anything to break the hold or anything like that. Jiu-jitsu, like they would literally like hold hands with the person and they would like break all their hands like bones as well. So no, I mean I guess you can compare them and like they're both being action movies, but it's just that one does like a far more superior, better job than the other.
So if we're talking about the action, then yeah, I mean I keep saying that Extraction had more of the gun violence. Jujutsu obviously had more of the combat. This still had like knives, you know? I remember in
Yeah.
the documentary for Falcon and the Winter Soldier, they talked about, oh, we want to keep bringing more action, but we don't always just want to do the same punching or gun violence. They wanted to do that one fight with all the knives. And I remember John Walker saying,
What's with all the knives?
that's basically the joke. They wanted to change up the action. So
Oh, was it insider joke?
I guess for the Marvel Studios.
That's cool though. That seems awesome though.
But the knife still is like a video game thing, though, right? I mean, come on, you're playing Call of Duty, and you can use your knife or you can use your gun.
The way they were using it, yeah. Like they were using it like a last, not necessarily a last resort, but like your third option. And they were
Yeah.
using a pistol like the second option. So like he would shoot. I mean, okay, we were talking about action. It was very to me John Wickish because he
I
would
was
be
gonna
like,
say,
Yeah,
it would be like
Yeah.
2 to the body, 1 to the head. No matter what they were doing, 2 to the body, 1 to the head, 2 to the body, 1 to the head.
Oh
They
yeah.
would switch to a knife, 2 slices to the body, 1 to the neck. Like, it's
like
Yeah.
that one scene when they're in like the apartment, right? And so he sneaks up on the one guy, he like cuts his neck, and then he like keeps like jabbing him in the throat with the knife. And then a little bit after that, when he uses the pistol and he runs out of ammo, he starts hitting the guy with the gun. At that point, I guess he exhausted his second option and didn't get to his third option there.
No, yeah, I like that a lot too. And like also, there's another scene, not with it wasn't Chris Hemsworth, but it was the other like ex military guy. Like he runs up to go get, I think Avi was his name, and
Yeah.
like there's like I think it was like what 3 or 4 police officers trying to escort him out. I liked how he shot one of them in the chest, but he had like a vest, so like he shot the other ones in the head when he got closer to like the last guy who he originally shot like a bit farther away. When he got up closer, he shot him 2 more times in the chest and then killed the guy. I thought that was kind of cool too as well, just because like it kind of did factor in that like these guys are wearing bulletproof vests. You know, when he was farther away, it looked like he had like a 9mm. So like from that range, it wouldn't guarantee that it would penetrate, but once he was like up close, when he shot him the 2 extra times, it went through and like killed the guy. That was pretty good, like I guess attention to detail.
Because like the initial shot probably would have like hit the vest and hurt a lot.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah, so usually, because like if you get like shot with like a bulletproof vest on, you still feel the impact. It's not something that like you won't just get hit and be like, all right, I'm cool.
Yeah. It'd be like a punch to the gut, basically.
Yeah, because like if you get shot with a vest on, depending on how far and what kind of caliber gun you get shot with, it can either, go through or it can do what it's supposed to, which is, stop the bullet. But even if it does stop the bullet, usually you have like a bruise and like at worst you'll have like, broken ribs as well. And it'll wind you as well because they'll hit you pretty fucking hard.
Well, Chris Hemsworth was definitely getting hit. I feel like after every action shot, he's got like more cuts and bruises on him, and by the end of the movie, he's just covered in blood, obviously. But
Yeah, that was great too. And I liked how they didn't like do the whole like, all right, after this action scene, he's just like 100% fine. Like he's like, oh, he's 100% now again.
this was the
Uh,
spam of 2 days, so
Yeah,
he ain't gonna heal that quick.
yeah. Like, oh my God, just to talk about it, but like in Jiu-Jitsu, I fucking hated that movie so much. But like, but like I would notice scenes they would like shoot something or like the alien would like shoot out like those like stars, ninjas, I don't know what to call them. Those like stars at like and it would hit like a tree next to like the person and you would see it there, but then like instantly right after it would be gone. Like it wasn't there anymore. And like I hated that so much. I was like everything's just like disappearing and like coming back and then like disappearing again. It was oh god, it was such a bad movie. I hate you guys for making me watch that movie.
Well, thanks for watching it. I mean, you'll be able to rank it compared to super bad in this
Oh.
movie.
I should have just saw it was a Nicolas Cage movie and just been like, it's awful.
That's not fair. He has some good
He
movies.
does. That's
Like
so good.
what? Like
I
what
have
good
never seen a
movie?
good necklace.
There was-
I mean, I will say it, National Treasure. It's probably
That's the
his
only
National
one, though.
Treasure. It's
That is the
not.
only one.
Okay, wait,
I wish I
wait.
can remember the names of the others, but
Hitting
What
faces
about-
was pretty good.
What-
Face off. Face off.
Face off, that's what it is. Yeah.
So,
Oh, Face Off? I
That's
guess, yeah. I guess. I don't
Willy's
know.
Wonderland. Ghost Rider.
No, that was awful. Ghost Rider was terrible.
Oh,
That-
God,
no,
no.
no.
Yes. Did you say Willy's Wonderworld? Wonderland, or whatever the fuck that movie was called?
Wonderman.
Yeah, that
yeah.
movie is awful too.
It's like kind of like a ripoff of Five Nights at Freddy.
It was awful. It was awful. I did not even. Oh no.
He still has Con Air and The Rock.
Okay, I guess
Yeah.
The Rock was good, but like
Welcome to The Rock.
with Sean Connery.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like the only like I guess out of like the 3 good movies that he had like another co-star that was also like hot at the time, you know? Like Face Off, he had John Travolta and then like I mean I guess Sean Connery wasn't really hot at the time during
Always
like
hot.
The Rock.
Always hot. You know, he's always in his prime. Just saying. You
Yeah,
know,
he's
all
still
his
a-
movies are pretty good.
But like yeah, but like
Oh,
yeah,
but
he was a fairly like a fairly solid like actor with all his movies.
And in Con Air, he had John Malkovich. So I mean,
Yeah, like if he's the only person on there that like you recognize, the movie's gonna be awful. That's just the movie's gonna be bad. If he's the only person that you can recognize, it's gonna be bad.
well, we're probably derailing from the subject here.
Yeah.
I think
Going
maybe
back.
we should talk more about Extraction, not Nicolas Cage's career. So
You guys made me watch that movie. I'm gonna tell you how bad Nicolas Cage's career.
That's at the end. At the end there.
Yeah.
it's spoiler alert.
Yeah, you could give a very lengthy, detailed essay about why you put it as the last
Welcome
one.
to Peter's podcast where we just bash Nicolas Cage. Sorry.
It's gonna be trending.
Nicolas Cage, if you're listening to this, I'm very sorry.
No, he's not.
It's
But
no
I
hard
doubt it.
feelings.
I doubt you listen to this.
You never know. We might have a fan from the celebrity verse.
It's
What?
Nicolas Cage.
It'll be Nicolas Cage.
I mean, no,
Oh my god.
don't get me wrong. I love Nicolas Cage, but I doubt he's gonna listen to this.
I can tell you for a fact, I don't love some Nicolas Cage.
Wow.
Alright. Oh, but to get back on topic with Extraction again, I don't know if you guys noticed it, but I did. Sometimes when there was one where Chris Hemsworth was talking to the kid, and it was in the morning. I think it was like right after they met with like the ex-soldier guy. The audio would like kind of cut out like all the background noises. And like I thought that was weird. I'm pretty sure the reason why it would cut out is because that's what they did like the editing. I just thought it was odd that they didn't fill in that like space with like the background noise that was happening at the time. Because like it would be Chris Hemsworth talking and then like it would get really, really quiet to where you can't hear anything. And then like Avi would start talking and then the audio would slowly come back again as well. I don't know if you guys caught that at all.
Okay, I now
No.
now you say that, I remember that. I'm remembering that scene right now. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it happened a few other times too throughout the movie, and I thought it was so odd.
Well, it was shot by a guy who was like his first time directing his movie. It was literally his first like directional like.
Oh,
debut.
really?
Yeah.
The director's
thought-
name is Sam Hargrave.
I thought
Yeah.
you said it was one of the Russo brothers.
He wrote it.
Okay,
I don't think this was a theatrical release. This was a straight to Netflix.
Mhm.
yeah,
Netflix original.
So that might be another thing too. Maybe it was like rushed. It was
That could
be
like
why.
one of the earlier Netflix movies per like the ones that were releasing per month.
And it was during like April. It was released like April 24th of last year. So it was literally during like the peak of like the pandemic. So
Uh,
Oh yeah, you definitely got a lot of views that time.
yeah.
But okay, that makes more sense. I thought you said one of the Russo brothers directed it.
No, it's the screenplay.
Okay.
Which is still a lot. You have to
Yeah.
remember, screenplay and direction goes hand in hand. Direction, of course, any shot you liked, like the action scenes where they're driving the cars through the city and the way the camera pans around the cars and then back on the other characters and goes back. All that blocking, oh my goodness, credit. They didn't cut any moment of that, and it just kept going and going. Obviously, the camera's probably mounted to some other vehicle, but the way, like, on some sort of a dolly of itself, I understand some of it has to be CG. And if it's not, I'd be surprised.
The car scenes, actually, it was a guy strapped to another car holding the camera.
Yeah, it was actually Kevin. Kevin was the guy strapped to
Yeah,
the
it was
car.
it was me.
Yeah, I can see it. Yeah.
I thought it was
How's
so
it described
shaky.
by Kevin? Oh, gotcha.
I thought that car scene was really good though. Just the camera work with that. I feel like it could have been like a ride.
Yeah.
At Universal, we make movies and then bring them to life.
Say your name, mate. Say your bloody name, come on.
And experience the thrill.
Proceeding to extraction.
Ride the movie. Universal excitement.
They did a great job. I think the only thing that like I really noticed that was like kind of weird was just the audio at like the times when everything kind of calmed down and like they were just having like a talk. Other than that, like all the action scenes seemed very fluid. They didn't have too many cuts or anything, which I always think is like really cool and like amazing. I don't know if you guys saw the movie, but like 1917, I think was the movie. A lot of those scenes were like very long cuts, and like I really like that movie because it was like a one and done kind of thing.
One shots.
Yeah. Like there would be one long continuous shots, and like with this one, when they were in like the apartment right after he crashed the cop car into the other guy, it seemed like that whole scene was like a very long continuous shot all the way through till they got away, which I thought was pretty amazing. I'm sure that they probably cut it somewhere in between.
Again, it was probably CGI here and there, but
Yeah.
I still think it holds up pretty well. Because even Birdman, an entire movie that only had 3 cuts, I believe it was 3. That movie used a lot of CGI for its transitions, for its next... Because like a lot of times it transitions to the next day, and they can't obviously do that in one
Yeah.
shot. So I can't be too surprised if it is CGI in this movie, but I still think that was very well direction.
Never know though. What was it? I know I'm bringing off topic for one shots. What was it? Haunting of Hill House had a scene all done with actual stage crafting and all that props. So they just reworked it. It just took a lot of time while rehearsing. I mean, then again, it is a driving scene, but still, I feel like a lot of people or like industries now are trying to get back. Not all of them, but just like try to do more actual things and go less and less with it. So who knows?
It's something nice to stray away from when everything is just gun violence. That's fine. I understand why you need to have your gun violence in this kind of actiony movie. It makes sense. Part of me kind of feels like this is the kind of character some of those like school kids talk about becoming or think they're going to become when they say, "Oh yeah, my career is going to be the military. I play a lot of Call of Duty. I know about guns."
Yeah, I mean, it's like John Wick, where it's like your friends can't stop talking about like this new action movie that came out, and it's like every scene almost action. And it's just a lot.
Yeah.
So
John Wick's such a good example for this movie. If you enjoy John Wick, you'll
You'll
love
enjoy
this.
this movie.
oh,
Yeah.
100%.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
If John Wick actually had to keep somebody safe, that's this movie.
Ooh, so it's Mandalorian, by the way. It starts off with Chris Hemsworth's character Tyler. He is this sort of big, I want to say assassin, but he's being hired to like, I mean,
I want to say independent
He's
contractor.
a black
Yeah,
ops
he's a-
mercenary.
Yeah.
He's like a Blackwater kind of person.
yeah, but not too different from Mando when he was sent to capture Grogu, but he grew a fond relationship with the child, and of course that's kind of what Chris Hemsworth is doing in this movie. Maybe not so much of that he's growing a fond relationship exactly with the child, but just the fact that he is a child and he wants to make sure
Yeah.
that the child is safe at very least. So
He seems kind of just like a guy with like actual morals throughout the entire movie. It's not so much that like he of course like it seems like he does care for the kid, but it's more so like I guess like his standards are like he wouldn't hurt a kid.
Yeah.
yeah,
Definitely showed that.
Yeah, with that first kid that he sees, the kid with like the bolt action rifle, like the kid, he couldn't cock the gun, so he just walks up to the kid and takes it away and tells him to like beat it, essentially.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then the irony of it being like,
It was a little foreshadowing if you think so.
yeah.
Yeah.
Whale foreshadow. Oh my goodness.
Because
Yeah.
remember in that scene, the kid has a gun to his back and he like turns around. He's like, oh, he can't do it, obviously.
Yeah.
And then flash forward to the end.
Yep.
And the sad thing about that with the children wanting to kill him were they probably didn't want to kill him, they were also probably kidnapped from this crime boss and were trained to be assassins, and that's their new job, or else they'll pay the price. And obviously they're probably not gonna necessarily die, they'll probably be tortured. This crime boss is cutting off their fingers or making them cut off their own fingers, and
Or pushing them off cliffs.
well, that was
throwing
to
them off
intimidate.
rooftops, yeah.
Rooftop, that's what it was, yeah.
He did that to intimidate the other kids by throwing one of them over as a lesson learned. Okay, kind of like Negan in The Walking Dead, when Glenn died. Oops, spoiler.
I will say when like
How old is that episode? I don't think you need to say spoiler.
2016.
Oh my god.
That's why I said
Okay,
it.
yeah. There's also a pandemic. They had plenty of time to watch it over that.
Yeah.
If they're not watching Walking Dead, they're not ever gonna watch Walking Dead.
Nah, not until it's actually fully done, and then we can just binge watch. I have like 3 seasons to catch up on. I haven't watched an episode since 2017.
Same.
Oh my god. I think that's like most people, but I don't know. It felt kind of weird. It felt like a loose end at the end of the movie. Like the kid, shoots him and he gets away, and like that's it.
He kind of shows up randomly too, if you think about it. Though you have all this military presence on the bridge, and then this one kid, I was just like trying to prove himself to the crime boss this whole time, shows up and kills him.
Well, I think also, he was kind of told not to ish, like save your finger and like don't be a hero, like that kind of thing. So I think he was the surprise, but like he was probably like scouting, like trying to find him. And so yeah, I think it just for coming full circle there, and then
I mean, I kind of like the piggyback off what you said. I feel like when he told him like save your finger, I felt it more because like the kid, he wasn't told to cut his finger off. From what I got from the conversation, he wasn't told to. He cut it off because he felt like disrespected by him. It could have been like either he just felt disrespected and he was like upset with Chris Hemsworth, but he felt like because he didn't catch him then.
He offered it as a gift.
Yeah, if he didn't cut it off,
But
he
the
would have
crime
done
boss
something.
did threaten him that he would cut
Yeah.
off. Or actually, he gave him the knife and said, cut it off yourself as a punishment. And he's like, all right, guess we're not doing. Okay, also, since we're talking about MCU references, when he was holding that knife, I instantly thought in my head,
Perfectly balanced. This whole thing should be.
Wow.
because he's trying to keep the balance of his city because he's the crime lord who owns the military. And I don't know, he's trying to prove a point to his future generations.
That hand wouldn't be balanced.
No, it would not.
It would not be balanced.
As you were saying, Hiroki, yeah, the kid brought it in as a gift to show himself and the crime boss dude that he is capable of doing such malicious actions, such as going out to assassinate Chris Hemsworth.
Yeah, I don't know. I took it that like he didn't really give a shit that much after that, because I felt like it seemed like to the crime boss himself that he already kind of proved himself for like just finding him and going after him. And also like with the scene before that being like clever enough to like put the blame on the kid that they just killed. Be like, oh yeah, it was him.
He's like, yeah, you just threw him off the roof.
It's like, yeah, you already killed him, so it's too late.
Yeah, you took her money. What are you gonna do now?
I just thought it was kind of weird because like I wouldn't say that he kind of told him to like stop chasing after him. I feel like he kind of just told him like it's not that bad. Like this guy's like really good. Like this guy's good. Like he didn't expect him to actually catch Chris Hemsworth. It was more so he's like, yeah, like he doesn't really give a shit if the kid really did go after him and died or like whatever. It was more so like, yeah, I didn't really expect you to get him either.
Yeah.
Nah, bro, he 100% wanted him to kill him. 100%. Like he was like, no. That's not how drug lords work. They aren't just nice all of a sudden because he had dinner. Like no, he wanted him to kill him, but at the same time, he was like, bro, you're a kid. This dude's a guy. Like just know you're supposed to kill him. Like you're going back out there. Save your finger because you're going to try again. But just be smarter next time. Not necessarily of, oh, it's okay, but like you didn't kill him, it's fine. Like no. You're going again. So you save your finger because you're about to go try it again, and if you fail, he'll either kill you
Yeah.
or I'm taking more than that finger.
Or I'm gonna kill you.
Yeah.
No, I don't think he fully cared or really expect him to
Yeah.
actually truly kill him. I still think he threw him out there into the field to, give his best attempt. But if he were to die, it's like, just wipe it under the rug. Just another kid
Yeah.
dead. I don't think he
Yeah.
really made it his mission, like the kid's
Yeah.
mission, to go out and kill Chris Hemsworth. Oh, if you're
Yeah.
listening, please don't go out and kill Chris Hemsworth.
But yeah, no, I agree with you, Peter, on that. It's more so like he was like, yeah, I don't really give a shit like about you. It's more so
Yeah.
like yeah, I didn't really expect you to do it. It's like, I mean, try again, but like
Just don't waste any more resources.
it's like yeah, it's like I don't expect you to really actually do it. But like get out there.
Have fun. Try your best.
Yeah.
I really do love how there's that one scene with all the kids ganging up on Chris Hemsworth, attempting to assassinate him.
Oh my god, fuck them kids, bro. I love that scene.
I like
That
the
was
part where he
amazing.
just like slaps the shit out of them.
That is literally what I thought. I was like, oh hell yeah, he's just beating up little kids. He's just like he went
But he
full on
can't
fuck
kill
them
them,
kids.
so there's conflict, and obviously that creates tension. But they were obviously still frigid, but they kind of was still, pulled back and closed their eyes and still, made their shots. But I, of course, said that this is kind of like Mandalorian already. So just imagine this: Mandalorian season 3, where Mando's surrounded by a bunch of little Sith kids that are controlled by the Empire, and he can't morally kill them. But it's just a good combat scene. Just imagine all the little Grogu's, Baby Yodas surrounding him, Sith style. I don't know.
Oh, I don't think he'd be able to walk out of that.
Will he walk out of that? I mean,
No,
Nah,
I feel like he'll be like, fuck them
they're
kids.
just gonna like jump around and just.
move around.
I like that scene though. I just thought it was really funny. He just went full on fuck them kids and just like beating the shit out of them.
And after that scene led to him hiding into. So they were hiding in like these crates of food, which David Harbour's character comes in and smuggles them with his van into this interesting, really compact crate that's designed to look like a crate of food. But of course, for smuggling, it's not. There's a bunker inside that he and the kid can fit into. That leads into the next scene where they're hanging out at David Harbour's apartment. As we know what goes there. New fight
Yeah.
scenes,
Betrays him,
betrayals.
Yeah.
And then it leads to that one moment where Chris Hemsworth is defenseless and the kid comes into the scene and he sees the gun on the floor, picks it up and shoots David Harbour. And as David Harbour is dying, bleeding out, just resting on his chair, that kid's face, you can just see everything he's emoting. And it's almost sad. I was almost expecting him to just get up and start screaming, save him, save him. Like, what have I done? But no, it's just he's eyes are watering, he's shaking, he sits down on the bottom step of the stairs and just stares at him because there's nothing he could do, and Chris Hemsworth just joins him, and they both just watch David Harbour pass away, and wow.
For Chris though, that was his old friend, so yeah, it must have hurt pretty bad.
I don't think
for
he
him.
trusted anyone, though.
Yeah.
At that point, no.
But he didn't want to kill him either.
Yeah, I think I don't think he was trying to kill him the entire time. It didn't seem like the entire fight. It didn't seem like either one of them wanted to kill each other. Because it seemed like in what's the guy's name again? Not Chris. What's the other guy's name?
David Harbour?
I'm trying to remember his character name. I can't remember.
I don't
Yeah,
know.
we'll just call him David.
Casper.
We'll just call him David.
Casper.
Let's call him David.
Well, it was Casper.
It was Casper.
I was gonna say
But-
call him Hop.
Yeah, because call him Hop. I'm just gonna call him Hop now. But Hop didn't seem like he didn't want it because it seemed like he was actually like in his mind he was helping and he wanted to like just kill the kid so that way like it can be done and over because he didn't want to have to really deal with like the repercussions, and he mentions in there that he's worked with that guy before, which also makes sense on why his car has like that weird little compartment. He probably like smuggles people and like drugs that way through the city.
Oh,
for him.
absolutely.
So he tells him like, yeah, I work for him and everything. And he knows like getting him out of there, like Chris probably won't like live. He probably won't be able to get him out there without getting killed in the process. So like in his mind, like that was when he got the call to like help him or like save him, he was just full on thinking about saving Chris because Chris was the one that saved his life back then. So he didn't care about the kid. That wasn't part of his concern or anything.
He owed him his life. That's what he said when he made the call for him to come. So he knew he can trust him to that extent, but at the same time, I don't think Tyler, Chris Hemsworth, truly trusted anyone.
No, but also remember
The Rake trusts nobody.
they were threatening his family though, like his wife or whatever. So like it was either the kid dies or your quote unquote wife dies. We never really saw her, but he did have that threat from the crime boss guy that I will kill your family if you don't either bring me the kid or kill the kid. So that
Very
had a big factor in
Godfather-y.
it too. Yeah, that's how they are though.
He's a drug
How
lord.
drug lords are.
Yeah, but that was literally everyone's threat was their family because the
Right.
other guy that was also chasing down the kid, who of course seemed like he was part of their crew, but obviously this guy was shooting, the cops that are owned by the crime boss. But he cried out to the kid in the woods, saying his name, and the kid even gave in. And Chris Hemsworth was like, "What are you doing? Shut up and follow me." And he's like, "He works with my dad." It's interesting how that twist was that the dad is also a crime boss who hired both of these guys, Chris Hemsworth and that one dude I just mentioned. I don't even remember his name. That to go find the son because he doesn't care if one of them survives. So long as both of them are at the mission of getting the kid back, the kid will be back.
Well, actually, no. The other guy, what's his name?
Seju.
Seju,
Seju.
whatever. Yeah.
Seju.
Sergio? Yeah, well,
Seju.
Sergio, he actually hired Chris, and so his plan was to double cross him because he obviously didn't have enough money to pay for them.
Oh.
Yeah, that's why he showed up. He's like, I realized it at the beginning of the movie when he's talking to his wife, and he's like, yeah, there's something, but it's gonna be really like complicated to do. Which I mean, killing his whole team and then killing Chris Hemsworth and taking the kid. Yeah, it's pretty complicated.
Him killing his whole team gave me like horror movie vibes because he was literally like, killing him like one on one, like oh killing you like how a slasher would do it, like oh killing the victims like one by one because they were all separated in a sense.
And his family was threatened by the big crime boss too, so that was the reason everyone's family being threatened, of course, like I said.
Yeah. This movie really didn't have any real like bad guys. I guess the only real like bad guys were the two drug lords.
I wish we could have gotten more out of the kid's dad to see how much of a crime boss he really is, just to see that
Well-
nobody's really winning. But at the same time, the kid did explain that he doesn't feel proud to be his father's son, because he knows his father's killing other people's parents. So
Yeah. Well, also, the kid does kind of explain like how his dad operates too as well, because he asks Chris like, "Oh, am I basically like just a package?" And he says yes, and he says like, "Yeah, my dad sees me kind of the same way as well." And when Sanji first sees him like in the prison to talk about his son, he's like, "Oh, well, we can negotiate the ransom, get him back." And then he replies like, "Oh, it's not like about the ransom, it's about the message." Like it was more so like he didn't want to seem weak, that like he's vulnerable. From that, he could have went ahead and just gone for the ransom, paid the guy off, got his kid back. But it was more so he's just like, "No, fuck, I'm not getting any money. Just get my son back by force." So
They
like
get an army.
yeah,
Brings
Thor.
he
For
just
Thor.
yeah. He brings in Thor. But it just seemed more like the dad. So just from like off those, it kind of just seems more so for the dad, like it was more just for like a show of force or like a show of status, than more so of him getting his son back. Like he didn't really care if he got his son back. He just cared like how he got him back because he didn't want to seem weak.
yeah, that is the sad part.
Yeah, but throughout the whole movie, like the only real like I guess bad guys that you would say would just be the two drug lords, and that's it. And then the one guy who threw the kid off the roof. But that's about
Anyone
it.
who's out there killing kids, you're probably a bad guy in this movie.
Oh yeah, you're the worst person imaginable. Yeah, you're horrible.
I thought it was kind of weird that they didn't really do anything with him either, though. I thought like but I guess it does make sense because she doesn't really know. Like that's not really her prerogative. But when she kills the other drug lord guy, he doesn't like do anything to like his like henchman. But it makes sense though, because like she wasn't there. She doesn't know about like him throwing children off the roof.
You're talking about at the very end
Pretty sure
of the
did her
movie.
research.
Yeah, at the very end.
Okay, yeah. So the main crime boss that kidnapped the kid in the first place did die by this one lady who was helping out Chris Hemsworth. It was funny. She actually did it right. He was using the urinal, right? He was taking a piss, and he just looks to his left, and there's a woman just in a very nice gown, because like looks like there's some sort of ball at some palace or whatever, and he's
Really
just
nice
confused, but
shallow.
he's also kind of charmed. But then all of a sudden, she just takes out a little Glock and shoots him. So, yep.
That was perfect. And that the way he just died like that was perfect.
Flawless victory.
Yes.
He took the piss.
And then I like how she like as soon as he falls, she like puts 2 more bullets in him.
Mm.
The double tap.
That was
Yeah.
for Tyler.
Zombieland rule.
That was
Or was it?
brutality right there.
Yeah.
But so going for the very end though, do you think when Avi came out of the water, who was that person?
He was having the same vision that Tyler was having throughout the whole movie of his kid. So I think he was
Okay.
having the same vision of Tyler. That
Do you think
So-
it's Chris Hemsworth?
I mean,
No.
we did. I mean,
Maybe a
we
vision
of
didn't. I mean, we didn't see. I mean, we saw his body hit the water at first, but
I
then
mean,
like,
he got
when the
shot in
guy
the
looked
neck.
over the bridge, his body wasn't there. So I mean,
Yeah,
He got
so
shot in the
we
neck.
don't know.
and this movie, there's going to be a sequel to this movie. It's already in development. So I mean,
Oh.
Oh, is there?
Oh,
Really?
yeah,
What?
yeah.
Look
So
at that then.
Wow, thanks for the cinema pack.
I'd be surprised if it's Chris Hemsworth, because in the end of the movie, he passes away. God, I don't know. Okay, so no body, no death, right? I get it. But he did get shot through the neck, and he was already pretty wounded, and then he falls into the river. I guess it's possible, but that would be too meta. I
that would
think
be a stretch.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think
maybe
I
that's
don't
how he
think
became
Not a
Thor.
Marvel movie.
Oh,
that,
here
that
we
became
go.
Thor.
okay. That
Come on,
scene alone, though, where he jumps into the pool and stays down there for a while before coming back to the surface, it's mirroring in the very beginning of the movie. Chris Hemsworth's there jumping off what appears to be the same Corey and Stranger Things that Mike attempted to fall into. Just say, if this is filmed in Georgia, it's probably the same cliff. But he jumps down there and he stays in the water for like a good minute before coming back up. And in the middle of the movie, just before David Harbour showed up, they're just chatting, and one of the things they talk about is drowning.
You drown, not by falling into the river, but by staying submerged in it.
I mean, that fog would have just like broke a bone or ribs or something though.
But I still believe that that was itself kind of like a message throughout this movie about getting back up, sort of thing. I understand it's actiony, but also in the morals of having to do what you need to do, because that's another thing that's been said a lot in this movie. The kid's father, the other crime boss, told his wife, "I'll get my son back, whatever it takes." You know, it's just everything. Every character motive is just based on whatever it takes.
You know what the other message is in this movie? That 14-year-old shouldn't be going to the club.
Well,
I also
Maybe you're
I,
wrong.
I thought it was a bit like extra with like the cop coming up and then like dropping the drugs and then shooting his friend in the face. I was like, why didn't he just shoot his friend in the face and just take him? Like, why did he go through this whole like?
because
Why did he have to
crime
go up to
bosses
him?
don't work so easy.
I was
They
like,
want
I
it
was
to be
like,
fun.
why did he go up to him and then like do like the whole like, hey, what are you doing? Oh, did you
Yeah.
drop this? And it's like, bang! All right, we're taking him. Like,
He's like,
Yeah.
you're gonna
why
have a
didn't they
full
just
life.
like,
Well,
Just
why
kidding.
didn't they just
maybe
go?
scare tactic.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like, why didn't he could have just yelled at him, went up to him, be like, "What are you doing here?" And then went bang, took him. Like, why do you have to drop like? He had to like go
Because
through the
that's
process
not
of like,
fun for Joe Russo to
of,
write.
he just had to go through the process of like of planting drugs and then shooting his friend and then taking him. I just thought it was weird. I was like, why did he go through all this? Like, he could have just cut to the chase, just shot his friend, took him.
Plot purposes.
I don't know. Maybe that's just how third world countries work.
I mean, I guess I can see like it kind of like builds tension, you know, and it also like shows you like, oh yeah, these guys are like super bad. Like they're really like they're all evil. Like they're really bad people.
Bad they are. They talk to the kids first and then
Yeah,
kill them.
Yeah, that way that way like, you know, you kind of disconnect from them. So like during like those action scenes where like they're just like dying left and right, like you don't really think about it or you don't really care. I know that during one point, some of the bad guys had like ballistic masks. Those things do exist in real life, but like they're not really commonly used, especially by the military. They don't use them at all. Just because like if you're wearing one of those and you get shot in the face with like an actual rifle, it's not gonna stop it. And even like because if I remember correctly, those things are kind of the only things those things can really like stop or block is like birdshot or like shrapnel. If you get shot in the face by a rifle, like it's just gonna go straight through. And if by like some miraculous reason it stops the bullet, it's gonna cave your skull in, so it doesn't really matter.
And like the whole video game thing where it's like, well, the bosses get harder and harder. You have to increase like the armor on them.
Yeah, I mean it looks cool.
Yeah.
It does look cool. That's more so whenever I see like those things or like bad guys or like masks on them. I think the reason why they do it is so that way like the people watching it don't really connect them to being like people and stuff. Because in essence, like all the people that they did shoot and kill were like police officers and stuff. And like if you really think about it, most of them aren't really like bad guy drug dealers sort of deal. It's an entire police force. So some of them, yes, but some of
Owned
them are
by
just
the
like
crime boss, though.
actually,
Yeah, they were cricket cops, bro.
It's like Biff Tannen in Back to the Future Part 2.
Kid, I own the police.
But yeah, that's more so like the colonel was like he was crooked, like he was a crooked cop. But like the people below him, like the regular run-of-the-mill police officers, they're not all gonna be crooked. I mean, a good portion of them would be probably. But like they're not all gonna be crooked, and like the reason why they have like the mask and everything is just so that you don't think like, oh yeah, he's a cop and he got told by like his boss's boss's boss to do this. Like just look for this kid. Like they probably didn't tell him like, yeah, we're looking for this kid to bring him to our like local drug dealer.
Maybe,
like,
but it
oh,
was
yeah,
also pretty shady how they were blocking all the roadways out of town, so I think they knew something.
Yeah, but like it helps with like the disconnect and stuff with like
I
a lot of movies.
suppose.
That's why a lot of times they do that in movies where they block out the face or they have them. If you do see their face, like a lot of times they have them do something like
Yeah.
Bad beforehand.
super like bad or fucked up, like they kick a dog or like they like
Yeah.
punch a kid or like they kill somebody. And it's like that way you don't feel bad for like them dying or anything. Or you don't think like, oh yeah, that could have been just like a guy who had a family and everything, like 2 kids or something. It's just like, oh yeah, it's just some scumbag.
It's like a stormtrooper, they're just a number.
Yeah, that's
There
one
is
good
one
thing
thing-
about Star Wars is that you never saw their faces. Oh, sorry, Cesar, go ahead.
There is one thing that I want to point out that we haven't even touched on at all when it comes to this movie. Chris Hemsworth's hair, outstanding,
Sure.
outstanding,
Okay.
outstanding, like legit,
Now
like
and yes.
yeah, really good. Like Sydney, like I can
Yeah.
imagine that you with that haircut, like you would probably look amazing.
What are you talking about? He already does.
Stan Lee gave him that haircut.
Now don't you move. My hands aren't as steady as they used to be.
By Odin's beard, you shall not cut my hair, lest you feel the wrath of the mighty Thor. Please, kind sir, do not cut my hair. No! No!
Really, Sydney?
That's why
Really?
we're never cutting it. Yep, that's why we're never
Wow.
cutting it. That's why we're never changing it.
I mean, Sydney already looks like Chris Hemsworth, so
Look, when you look like us, like everybody just knows you're a god, right? Hey,
oh my
when the
God.
second one of us walks into a room, you're like, yes, a godly presence has arrived.
Definitely not the hammer or the lightning, but
I'm just thinking for like anyone who actually does listen to this, if they actually do believe
Ouch.
that Sydney does look like
Wow.
like Chris Hemsworth, or like if they're like, are they just fucking around? Are they like, does he look like Chris Hemsworth?
They will never know.
I mean, he sounds like Chris Hemsworth. I don't know. what
It
you're
really
talking about.
does. Like, don't you hear the
Australian
Australian
everything.
accent? Like, yeah.
I'll put the image that Shang sent in the chat above whatever the image is currently on my YouTube video of this. So if you're watching on my YouTube channel, then you can see the funny joke that we're comparing this to. Anyways, this also comes from Jacob, who said that he looked like Nicolas Cage, which is why we watched Jujitsu. This is us
Jacob.
saying Sydney looks like... Yeah, I'm explaining the joke now. There we go. Comedy ruined. It's my job.
What the hell, man? Come on, man.
Shit as an insider, dude. Come on.
Come on, man. Only the real ones know.
So you don't
Jacob
think I should do
definitely-
that? You don't think I should put up this photo right here of Sydney and Chris Hemsworth, the twins?
Oh no, just put like a photo of like Michael Shang or something. Someone it's not even Sydney. It's just somebody else. Like you just pull somebody else from like Google or something, and then you say that person's Sydney.
Some random stock photo.
Yeah, it's like
there's so many.
it's like a photo of that guy with like the pain smile. You know what I'm talking about? Like the old man.
Oh yeah.
It's like Sydney, like Chris Hemsworth.
Going back to the movie, we were talking about building tension. They did that in the first 5 minutes of the movie when they show like the ending climax of Chris Hemsworth on the bridge climbing under a car for shelter. Yeah, why? Why? I get it. Movie, you want to show that you got Chris Hemsworth in an action movie, but you can't really show him just yet because you need to give him a nice, better introduction while he's all clean before all the action. Movie, we don't care. Just start the movie where the plot starts. We don't need the little tease of where the climax is gonna go. You know, I don't know if you feel the same way, but that's how I felt. Like,
I mean, we've seen that in movies before where they show like, for example, like the ending, and then like, oh, this happening ending, like then before, like, oh, like 3 days later, like days before. I mean, what
it's
happened?
fine when it's only
Yeah.
like when it's only like partially into the movie. Like if say it's just a few moments later, but this was literally the ending. They just showed us the ending. So
No, I
whatever.
agree with you. I don't like not callbacks, but I don't like flashbacks sort of or like flash forwards, I guess.
Yeah,
I don't know, they just seem
rewinding the
like
story, I guess.
unnecessary.
Yeah.
Yeah, they seem unnecessary.
I mean,
It
I
like
think.
oh go ahead. Go ahead, Michael.
I think that they can be good in certain aspects if you're doing it for like a person's journey of how they got to be where they are. Like, so I mean, it's kind of like a reversal of it. So, I'm trying to think of. I really can't think of any movie that would do it. I know I heard one. They were saying like if Captain Marvel did it this way. I know that's the most. I think I just watched something about that. If they reversed it, doing it that way, it would have been a better film in that sense. Like just seeing someone's growth and how they got there, and so you're kind of like rooting for the character in that sense. And like not discovering it with them, you're kind of rooting for them to discover it in that aspect. So
I
I think,
know.
and again, this movie I didn't need to do that, but I can see how it can be good. But yeah, no, this movie did not need to do that.
Yeah, because I know Deadpool did that, right?
It did,
Yeah,
but
they
not
did do that.
but it wasn't so forward into the movie. Like I said, it wasn't this was the
Yeah.
ending. It wasn't like that in Deadpool.
And I feel like what they did in Deadpool was more so for like as a gag.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It's
well,
like
obviously.
like he's like
Oh, hello. I know, right? Whose balls did I have to fondle to get my very own movie? I can't tell you, but it does rhyme with pulverine.
yeah, because
Yeah.
he's like there, he's trying to end it all, but like he can't kill himself. Like
He
it's
even
not he's not
acknowledges it
yeah,
too.
like it's not like he can kill
We see
himself.
him in his
Yeah.
costume. So
Yeah.
it does give us what we want right off the bat. I wouldn't say that's what this movie did. This movie is just kind of like there to remind you, don't worry, we're giving you your Chris Hemsworth action movie. You're getting it. Just sit tight. Like your plot's good. I don't need to sit tight.
Yeah, because like most of the time when they do that, it's usually for like comedies or funny movies where it's like a funny moment. It's like, all right, there's a joke. What led to it?
I mean, Pulp
Like
Fiction
Yeah.
did that also.
like
They did that with
opening
the-
or not opening, but Thor Ragnarok. He's like, you're probably wondering how I got here.
Oh, I want to mention that how Seiju went out literally guns blazing. It's like I'm not sure if you guys remember, like when they were on the bridge, he got like shot. Like we thought, oh, he got shot. He dead. No, he came out and it started stabbing people. I think he was stabbing or shooting people. Like it was like out of nowhere. Like literally like a last glimpse of life from him.
That man would not die
He was
until he got shot in the
superhuman.
head. But
He got hit by a truck and
But yeah.
survived. All right.
yeah, that was
Oh,
wild.
that's
Like
right.
he got hit by a whole truck and like still lived. But like he not only got like hit, he got like hit, thrown into another truck, and like made a dent into it.
And got back to the hotel.
And then yeah,
Cracked
and then
his
went to
nose
the
back
hotel.
into place, and then no, like spit out the blood. It was great.
Yeah, I guess that was like the only thing that was like really like I guess superhuman or like like it's like unrealistic, I guess. It's just Sanju just being an absolute like menace to society.
Oh, speaking of unrealistic, how did Tyler survive that jump that from the cliff? Like literally in real life, he would be dead.
Well, they said it was, how high did they say it was? 30 meters or
I think
something
it was
like
30
that?
meters.
You
30
can.
meters. You can jump from that height. You can
Can
jump
you?
from 30 meters.
Huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Really?
You
Okay.
just
Into
have to
like
like
yeah.
cover his nose and his head, sort of, right?
Probably not the way you did it, but
I mean, you can't like belly flop into the water. You would die. But like if you goddamn the
Feet
dogs.
first. Like you'd probably be
But
you'd
yeah.
probably be fine.
Yeah, so like if you like land like the correct, because they have a certain way of like landing in the water to like reduce your like surface area. So like I feel, I mean, then again, I haven't jumped at that height, and I would never do anything that fucking crazy. But I don't really see that as like being superhuman or like impossible doing. Oh, I just looked it up. It says the highest that you can jump into water is like 46 meters, and that's 250
Mm,
feet. You have a very high possibility of dying though that way.
mm.
There's still like,
Still a chance.
yeah. So like,
And depends how shallow the water is, right?
Yeah.
Like they
yeah.
bring
So
this
they,
back to Stranger Things. Like, I don't even need to explain her.
yeah, because like they say, the World High Diving Federation recommends that no one dive 20 meters or higher unless they are professional rescue scuba divers stationed in the water. So like 20 meters is like basically for any pleb, but they can go higher than that. So like if you know how to land into water, or if you're trained to land into water. Yeah, so like the highest jump from land into water is 58.8 meters.
Mm.
So 30 meters would be, especially for like, I mean, I don't know what exactly he was, if he was like, because I don't think they ever specify what he was in the military, if he was like a Marine or like just like regular Army or like from the Navy. But like if he was trained to do so, he would most definitely should have been able to.
Well, that's a fun fact. And speaking of facts, Caesar, before we actually jump into your sea trivia, I know that was a wrong time for a transition, but hey, I had to use it.
Seamless.
I just have one little thought I remember from this movie. One of the most relatable, actually. As the kid is staring at Chris Hemsworth and is sitting on the other side of the room from him. Of course, he knows he's safe, but at the same time, he still has his guard up. He starts fidgeting on his knee, and Chris Hemsworth starts asking, like, what are you doing there? He's like, oh, I'm playing piano. It's what I do when I'm nervous. Like, oh my God. I don't know if you ever noticed.
Oh yeah, I noticed.
I'd
Yeah.
be surprised. I would be surprised if you noticed it on me though, because that's exactly what I do. Like, I'll
Really?
just be doing like shapes of chords on my like lap. Yeah, like, I play
Huh.
piano, so it's just what I do. It's weird that I don't know if I truly always thought of it, but when that scene happened, I just instantly knew. Oh yeah, that's me. That's what I do.
Wow. Really getting in depth with you, Peter. Learning about your
Nervous ticks.
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I do it too. I'll like move my hands or I'll fidget or something when I get nervous or antsy or bored or just
That I
under-
understand, but like, are you also playing piano or?
No,
I could
don't
see
play
people maybe strumming
piano.
guitar. I don't know. It's just
I'll
really-
probably strum guitar because I'm closer to guitar than piano.
Yeah.
But no, I have no desire to pretend or for real play a piano. So I won't do that one fidgeting.
Because like it's maybe all based on like finger movements, you know, you're just so custom, and it's also kind of into your muscle memory. But yeah, that's what I would do on my lap, just like pretend like I'm playing piano, but only with like the shape of chords and such. It's weird.
I remember when I was in my teens, I used to snap when I was nervous, like on like literally like loud snaps. I would just like whenever I was like nervous,
What do you do now?
I just like ramble.
He just screams internally.
Yeah, exactly.
Rambling's a great trait to have for podcasting.
It really is, yeah.
Uttering, not saying all your words correctly in a full, complete sentence, spacing out your words, or maybe not even spacing them at all, where you're talking too quick and you're not even saying any. Put a period in there. That's what I'm guilty of too.
Mm.
I'm sure editing helps me a lot. I'm sorry, future Peter.
He's gonna punch you in the face.
Sorry,
Yeah.
not sorry.
Any last thoughts of this movie before we jump into Caesar's C trivia and then the ranking of the scale?
Wait, Caesar does sea trivia?
It's a new segment we've started.
Why?
Cesar, let's just go ahead and jump into C trivia.
Welcome back to C Trivia, everyone. We took a little break on our last episode with Superbad, but now we are back and better than ever. So we got a little bit of 5 questions for everyone here. Are we ready?
Oh, we have to answer them?
Oh,
Yes.
Yes.
no. Oh no.
Trivia, my guy.
Okay, I think that's yes. Okay. So Sandgrave, like we said, was his first. This was his first directional debut as a director. So he was he's known to be in the Marvel universe, but he used to be a stunt double. So what Marvel character was he a stunt double for in the MCU universe?
Thor.
Anyone else?
I mean Thor.
Anyone else?
I'll go with
just
Cap.
Thor. I'm just the entire movie. Here's
Thor?
a stunt double for the entire movie for everybody.
Why is wait, Shang, do you think Thor too?
Sorry. Could you say the question again? Who?
Okay, so Sam Hillgrave, he was this is his first like directional debut. So before
Okay.
this, he was a stunt coordinator. He's involved in the MCU universe. So what Marvel character is he known to be like the stunt double for?
I mean, oh no.
I'm going with Cap.
Yeah. I mean, Thor's just too. That would be too on the nose. Let's do Cap.
Sydney and Michael are right. It was Captain America.
There you go.
Yeah.
Winter
I love the one
Soldier?
first.
He was on Winter Soldier, wasn't he?
Not sure, but he was Chris Evans' Captain stunt double in the movie.
I know,
And
because the
then,
Russo
yeah.
brothers had to do with one of them. That's
Yeah,
No.
probably.
That's how I just went with that. There we go. All right.
Okay, on to the next one.
So you're telling me I was wrong that he wasn't the stunt double for everybody in
He
Thor: The
was,
Dark
he, was,
World?
he was a stunt double for Chris Evans, and then eventually became the go-to choreographer for Marvel.
Interesting.
Yeah. Okay, on to the next one. So, which 2 actors were at first attached to be the leads in this movie?
I'm gonna go
Nicolas
with.
Cage.
Nicolas Cage.
Sorry, guys.
Wait.
So sorry.
Who said Nicolas Cage?
I did.
Oh my god.
It's 2 actors that were attached at first to be the leads in this movie.
I'm gonna go with Chris Evans.
Okay, so Chris Evans and you said
I'm
Nicolas
gonna-
Cage. Okay.
I'm gonna say Brad Pitt and Scientology man. I forget his name right now.
I was gonna actually say Tom Cruise too.
Tom Cruise, yeah.
Tom Cruise.
Wait, let me say what's his name? Keanu Reeves also.
I'm gonna say Samuel L. Jackson and Danny DeVito.
Danny DeVito. Imagine.
No, imagine him going, "Hey kid, we gotta get in here."
So anyway, I just started
The
blasting.
kid would be taller than him.
Oh my
Danny
god.
Way to
DeVito.
I'm gonna go with Jeremy Renner and Matt Damon. Yeah, why not?
Ooh, it could be Matt
Just born,
Damon.
alright.
Well,
And he did say that he looked like a Brad, so I wouldn't be surprised if it's Brad Pitt too.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Jeremy Renner and Matt
that's-
Damon.
That's why I said Brad Pitt.
so it was Bruce Willis and Arnold Schwarzenegger
Bruce Willis again.
Dude, they're
were,
old.
were attached as
fuck?
leads to this project at one point. So they were gonna be like, imagine Schwarzenegger in this movie.
How
He's
old
old.
was this project? Was it made in the fucking 1990s?
If they would have been
Willis?
it, then it would have been an expendable spinoff. Like,
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
That would be a problem because that's already too much like Judgment Day.
yeah. And like
Well, how
every
old is-
diehard ever.
How old is
Plus the
Bruce
other
Willis? He's
Hemsworth
like
was
what?
in.
Hold this what?
Bruce
He
Willis?
has to be like 65 at least.
He's gotta be like 70. Come on.
He's 66.
What about
No,
Arnold?
Arnold-
How old is Arnold?
Arnold's
He's got
definitely in his
73.
70s.
He's in his 70s.
He's okay. What the fuck? What were they thinking?
I mean, they had
Oh my God.
literally they had Sylvester Stallone in that new Rambo movie.
But he's Rambo.
Yeah, but like it's Rambo, yeah, and Rambo is supposed to be like Rambo is supposed to be some like old Vietnam veteran. So like right now, like that makes sense. All of our Vietnam vets are like old as shit. They're like super old.
Oh my god. Okay, on to the next one. This is gonna be an interesting one. So, what item was banned in India that caused the production team to import the rubber items of these? So, because the film was
Rubber items?
Yeah. So these are basically essentially banned in India.
I was gonna say fingers, but
Fingers?
it was like the kids
Grenades.
chopped off fingers. Like,
Yeah,
we
yeah,
couldn't chop off his actual
Grenades.
finger.
Grenades. They have all the other guns on there.
I want to say
Grenades.
guns.
Fingers, grenades, guns. Okay.
I want to say grenades too, but I'm
Okay.
sure maybe for the production itself, they would. Well, you said rubber. I don't think the guns were rubber, so grenades.
I feel like the grenades wouldn't.
Potion.
I feel like it's gonna be something really stupid. Like it's gonna be something really dumb.
I'm gonna go with rubber bands because that's stupid as shit. So.
Rubber band.
Rubber band.
Rubber band.
Was it really?
No, it wasn't. It wasn't rubber bands.
I mean, it's rubber bands. They're gonna have to be rubber gibbons.
Oh, wait. That doesn't make any sense though, because like MRF is the biggest rubber company in India. So.
Okay, you guys ready for the answer?
Yeah, I can't think of anything. You go ahead.
So according to the director, the national-wide ban on firearms on location in India was so strict, the production team had to import rubber prop guns without any moving parts.
Without any moving parts?
Yeah, so they had to
Wow.
get like rubber prop guns to use in this movie.
So all the guns were CGI. Wow, that's impressive.
Wow.
That was some really impressive CGI.
Flash,
yeah.
Holy crap.
Muzzle flash is so annoying.
Pick a different
Was I-
location.
They did it on location.
Did it on location? Yeah, they shot it. Yeah, it was shot in India. Yeah.
Wait, it didn't take place in India, did it?
It took
No,
place
like the
no,
first
no.
part where the
Bangladesh.
kid got kidnapped.
Then it's
Yeah.
not on
Bangladesh,
location.
I mean, I mean, I've never been there, but I think basically and like geoscopically, Bangladesh and India are very similar. I mean, they're right next to each other too as well.
I
So
think
they
that bridge
probably-
like led over, right?
That bridge was probably like in India or something.
Or
But
like
like,
the border.
I guess it makes sense. That's so weird though. That's so odd.
Okay, on to the next one. Okay. So where was this movie originally supposed to be filmed?
Australia.
Kansas.
Kansas?
North
It was gonna be
Korea.
a sequel. It was gonna be a sequel.
The northernmost part of Russia.
It is in development. So I mean,
It was gonna be a sequel to Wizard of Oz.
Afghanistan.
Okay.
Georgia.
I like my answer.
What? What was your
Orlando,
answer, Peter? Orlando.
No, I said North Korea,
Oh, you did.
somewhere Americans aren't allowed to be.
So, I love these answers. Okay, so the original setting for the movie was supposed to be in South America.
That makes sense.
Yeah,
Oh
that
yeah,
makes
actually
sense.
makes sense.
Yeah,
Drug
yeah.
lords, cartel,
Yeah,
yeah.
because
Yeah,
they
there's a
thought,
lot of
because
them
like the director and the production team thought like, oh, we can do it in South America, but then they were like, wait, this has been done before. Drug lord in South America, like that has been done before.
Yeah.
So they were like,
Yeah,
let's
like,
go to India. Yeah.
Real life, every day. Is done.
Yeah.
Every day.
But it wasn't
right
India.
now.
It was
It's
the
being
Middle
done right
East.
now.
Okay, this is gonna be the last one.
Oh my God, there's so many.
Last one. Okay.
Yo, Peter's like, we got a limited questions now.
Look at the timestamp here. Whew.
You said I could do 5. You said 5.
I said 3 at first, but you were like, came up with 10. I'm like, for
I
5.
said 5.
Caesar's like, I have 50 though.
No, that's way too much.
He's like,
Okay.
I already brought it down to 10.
So we remember the infamous underwater scene with Chris Hemsworth. Where was that underwater scene shot?
Georgia. Because I already guessed that was Stranger Things. But yeah, it was probably some soundstage in California, if we're being
I would say a
honest.
pool in like Kansas.
Where's with you in Kansas?
Australia.
He's trying to get back home.
It's filmed in the back lot at Universal Studios Orlando.
No, Universal had no relation. It's not even part of the production company.
Alright, fine. It was built in the
Third party,
back
man,
lot
third
of
party.
MGM Studios.
Okay, that's believable. Okay. Okay, so this underwater scene was shot in a water tank. So according to the director, the scene was shot water tank on stage, and Hemsworth held his breath for over 3 minutes.
Nah, I think it was a tank that was moving on the way to the actual set.
The tank. It was on the back of a tanker. It was taking him to India that way.
Wow, it's like I can imagine, like you see Thor underwater and on a top of a truck, like what is Thor doing?
Oh my god. That makes more sense.
Yeah.
We're thinking about like the above ground part,
Yeah,
but like
yeah.
if it's underwater, for the most part, they always film that in like a special pool, so that way they can actually see through it.
But yeah, he held his breath for over 3 minutes. The average person usually holds their breath for over, I believe, 40 to 60 seconds. So higher than average. Yeah.
Okay, so that was the last one.
That was C
Moving
Trivia,
on.
everyone. Thank you for joining. We'll see you next time.
See, when you said that, I thought you were gonna like ask questions about like whales and dolphins. I don't know why. That was the
Shopping
first
carts
thing.
or
Shopping. I
That
can
was
still
the
do that.
first thing.
no.
That was the first thing that popped
Please
in
don't.
my head.
I have to be up early.
Yeah.
Okay, whenever. Okay.
Caesar, just be thankful I actually kept that in the Full Court Miracle episode.
We had 50 questions, my guy.
When did I do trivia in the
When
Full
did we
Court
do
Miracle?
this? I haven't done this.
No, I'm saying the shopping cart thing.
Oh, okay.
Wait, you kept that in?
You didn't listen to it, I guess.
Because I was busy.
Damn,
I was
see
very
his
busy.
own podcast. He doesn't listen
This is
to
not
it.
even my podcast. This is Peter's podcast. I missed the code.
It's all of ours.
It's our baby.
I feel like it's mine. It's just in the Caesars now.
I'm trying to be the director here by keeping us at a reasonable time frame, not where Caesar just gives like 20 C trivias and talking about
We're just-
shopping carts.
We're just slowly gonna push Peter out of his own podcast.
Yes, Hiroki, don't tell him. That's the plan.
Mutiny. I claim mutiny.
Revolution.
Peter, you're gonna need extraction after this.
Oh, hey.
All right, let's rate this movie so Sydney can go to bed.
Thank you.
Just like that, it is time to look at the scale. So, how would you guys rate the following films that we've just seen? Jiu-Jitsu, Superbad, and now this, Extraction. From your least favorite to your favorite, Shang.
Sorry, I'm drinking water right now.
Okay. Okay, wait.
No, okay,
I'm moving.
I'm good. I'm
Okay.
good. So, jujitsu. So sorry, bottom. Yep. I don't think I need an explanation. We all know.
Hiroki explained it really deeply in the first few minutes of the show. So yeah.
So we're good. And then I think Superbad will be the second, and then I'll have this one on top. Extraction on top.
Wow.
Yeah, I think out of the two genres, action would be more favorable for me. So personal preference on that.
All right. Sydney, you picked this movie. How would you rank them?
Let's see. I would go with Jiu-Jitsu last. I'm not really sorry. It's just what it is. Superbad second. While it is an instant classic, comedies just I have to be in a certain mood for them in general. And then I'll put Extraction number one, just because I love action. Chris Hemsworth is in it. I liked his performance in it. I enjoyed the scenes. I thought it was a very good movie. So that one's number one.
Kevin.
Yeah, what up? Okay, so worst one. I'm gonna go with Jujitsu. Not because it was a bad movie, but because it was a bad movie. And then Superbad would have to be second. Again, it's not really my taste in movies. It's just probably something I'd watch like on TV late at night, if it's just on while I'm playing video games or something. And then Extraction number one, like the action, it was really great. I mean, it was John Wick-esque action. Although, like at the beginning, if you saw, they did the whole like looking through orange tinted shades type of thing. But yeah, it was really good, and that's my standing on those.
Uh, you already know Jujutsu's number fucking one on like the worst. It was just awful all around. I hated it. I had to watch it at 1.5 speed just to watch it all because I was so disinterested. And then I'm actually gonna put second, Extraction, and then Superbad's gonna be first. The only reason why is because I really like comedies. I think that's like my preferred type of movie. It's just comedies. Extraction, there was nothing wrong with it. It was a really good movie. It was a good action movie. It's just that for me at least, a lot of times with like action movies, it takes a bit more to like kind of hold my attention. And especially if they don't have any like, you know, jokes or anything going on throughout the movie, but that's more so just my own personal preference. I just prefer comedies over action movies. But it was a great movie overall.
Caesar.
Okay, so my least favorite is gonna be Jujutsu, obvious reasons. Hiroki couldn't have said it better way in the beginning. My second is gonna be Extraction. And my number one is gonna be Superbad. The reason why is because, like Hiroki, I am also a big fan of comedy. And Extraction, like Hiroki said, it was a really good movie. Like there were not really big issues that I had a problem with, but just comedies are just like my favorite overall genre when it comes to movies. So, because like Superbad, you have like Seth Rogen, Bill Hader, Michael Cera, Jonah Hill. So that's my ranking.
Peter. Oh wait, that's my turn now.
Yeah.
Wow.
So critics usually have to suffer when it comes to watching movies because they're not always going to be in the mood in the certain genre they have to see, but they still have to critique it. And that's sometimes how I feel when we watch these movies because, I'm depending on the mood of where I'm in, we're picking a random movie that I'm not really choosing to see. Of course, that's what makes it random. I'm not always in the mood to see. Like, I don't know if today was the day I really wanted to see an action-y film. I love this action, though. It was definitely really high-paced and choreographed to its finest. Jiu-Jitsu also has action, and I believe it's also a good movie to compare this movie to. Well, at least, okay, I say compare, but like for fighting terms, because Superbad's a comedy. That's what makes it a little challenging here, but I can see myself overall just wanting a feel-good movie. I still very much enjoy Extraction, so my ranking is Jujutsu at the bottom, Extraction, and Superbad at top. Again, this was a solid film, but Superbad, even though it's again not entirely my cup of tea either, it's still just like a dumb movie that I can just get behind.
We have a stalemate then, because like literally 3 had Extraction number 1 and 3 had Superbad as number 1.
Yep, the average is a tie. It is a tie in this episode.
That's great.
Only loser is Jujutsu.
So, at the bottom, it's Jujitsu. Coming in second and first is both tied. Superbad and Extraction. But Jujitsu, you're at the bottom.
Terrible movie.
Yeah, so this is a first for Review-O-Meter, having a tie for first and second. But hey, as we already made Hiroki do, we're gonna have the rest of our guests catch up. So they're gonna have to watch Extraction to be on this show now. So that could break the tiebreaker for the future. In fact, Jiu-Jitsu might even get a second ranking. Who knows?
Oh my god.
Oh my god, if that happens, I will be shocked. Like,
Peter, I thought you were gonna be like, yeah, since we had a tie, we have to watch all 3 movies again.
oh my god.
Great idea!
No, like there's no such thing as a tie here.
But you have to watch Jujitsu
Jujutsu.
at regular speed. If anything, slow it down. Even
Oh no, please no.
I wish there was a way to do a tiebreaker like this, but knowing that we have one more movie to cover for Netflix Guest Choice, I'm sure we'll have somebody new that wasn't in today's episode that could kind of break the ice. So here's hoping.
Just wake up somebody random in the middle of the night and ask them what they think.
All right, let's get Yasmin.
I was gonna say we can call Natalie.
She's probably asleep.
Yeah, but just sound really, really panicked when you call.
It's an emergency. You gotta know.
Emergency. What do you think of this
Code
movie?
Red.
Super bad or extraction. Go.
Should I? What the fuck are those?
2 movies that came out during the pandemic.
2
Well,
movies that
November.
Wait, hold on.
Superbad did not.
I was gonna say.
Oh, you're right. I'm thinking of Jujutsu still.
Yeah.
No, Superbad probably came out during swine flu, so another pandemic. But not as,
Intense.
Well, just like that, that brings us to the end of the episode. Thank you, everybody. Before I end this with a nice little slate, does anyone have anything to plug? Hiroki?
I don't do anything, so no, I don't have anything to plug.
He's honest.
Evan?
No, unfortunately, I have nothing to plug this week, but I will say thank you. It is an honor, as always, and just, tell your friends and family members about this podcast.
You just plugged. Shang?
Wow, okay.
Thanks, Kevin.
He just plugged his own podcast.
His little baby, yeah.
Michael Shang? Sydney?
No, nothing to plug. Just thanks for having me, and I'll see you guys next time.
Michael Shang?
So sorry, I was talking, and then you went to Sydney. I was like, oh wow, okay, I guess I'm
Jump real quick.
done.
I said it like twice.
Sorry.
Shang!
So thank you for having me. It's always a blast. So thank you. But no, nothing to plug. I was gonna say that, but everyone listened to the podcast. So
Just plug your own Venmo and just ask them to send you money.
Oh, yo, they might actually do it.
If you do that, I won't cut it.
Oh my
Wow.
God, hey!
Let me pull my Venmo real quick.
Caesar, can you tell everybody where they can listen to this podcast?
You can listen to it on Google Podcasts, Spotify, and catch it on Peter's YouTube channel, at PJM Entertainment. And it's always a fun time. Thank you for listening and appreciate the support.
So that wraps it up for today's episode where we just watch Extraction. 3rd episode here for Netflix Guest Choice. Next week will be our last one for that theme, and then we'll be moving on to something different. So stay tuned here only at Review-O-Meter!